At.Madness is back in the house. We're
I'm
kicking off.
actually in the house this week too. I'm not in another state for once.
She has broken laws in multiple states and she's back in Jersey. Crossing the line. We should find out how many laws you break whenever you're in Florida. Do you think you break laws?
Me?
Do you think you break laws, Madison?
I jaywalk. Does that count? I can walk across the street. I don't care if
that because I actually had a loan officer back in 2010 who actually got a ticket in Alexandria for jaywalking.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
But nobody gets a ticket for it.
I guess it depends on where you are. What state was he in?
Virginia.
Is Virginia strict with jaywalking?
No, I just said I think he must have pissed the cop off.
Yeah, he must have been running or skipping or something.
He literally got a ticket for jaywalking. So, yes, Madison, jaywalking, do not do that.
Jaywalking and parking is probably where I would have my two down.
Where are you in Florida again?
Where was I or where am I?
Where are your parents' house? Where
my parents are in St. Petersburg, Treasure Island. My brother's in Tampa, and then I have other family friends that are in West Palm, Jupiter.
And where were you jaywalking?
Where don't I jaywalk?
Okay, so the police officers in those three cities, be on the lookout for Madison.
Be on the lookout for Madness jaywalking.
If you see somebody from New Jersey, which I know is not abnormal in eastern part of West Palm Beach.
Everyone in West Palm drives around in golf carts. You got to worry about drinking and driving in a golf cart down there or something.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's all good. It's all good. So Madison, we just got done recording a realtor episode. I have on the new Laugh, Let and Eat t-shirt. I noticed you didn't have yours on. You know what I mean? No, it's okay. You gotta show the respect before the show starts. Don't do it afterwards. So we just sent these out to everybody. Now, the market has changed since the last time you were here.
Doesn't it always?
Right? Doesn't it always? And you are changing with the market.
I am.
You seem more at peace all of a sudden. There's no madness left in you right now.
No.
You're painting these nice, lovely pictures that are behind you. It's like a new madness going.
All rainbows and butterflies, sunshine, unicorns.
And you're got tearful moments with clients.
Yeah, I've had a lot of tearful moments with clients.
Now, is that why you go to closing, so you can break down and have tearful moments with clients?
Yes, it gives me a reason to cry because the guys in my office, it's funny. So I went to lunch with two of my coworkers yesterday, and we were celebrating one of their 2-year anniversaries being with the company. And we were just talking about growth and, how things have changed in the last 2 years since he came on board. And he's like, you don't cry as much anymore. I feel like that's growth. And I'm like, you know what? It is. I don't cry as much anymore. So either I'm becoming numb to this business, or I don't know. I'm getting thicker skin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that movie A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks? You ever seen that? Please don't tell me you've not seen that movie.
No.
Please take 2 hours of your life this weekend. It's a long weekend. You got to watch A League of Their Own. You got to watch it. It's required mortgage education.
I feel like I might have. It has to do with mortgages?
No, it's a baseball movie. So.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel like I've seen mortgage related or
No, it's about the female baseball league during World War II. But Tom Hanks is in it.
Okay.
Right? Tom Hanks does an amazing part where this girl is crying because he's yelling at her for missing a pop ball. And he says, "There's no crying in baseball."
All right, so I know the slogan. I just don't know. I haven't watched the movie.
All right.
There's no crying in mortgages.
There's no crying in mortgages. There's no crying in mortgages.
But yes, with that, so one thing that I guess I do differently that I didn't realize was so different or unheard of is I go to my clients' closings.
What?
I don't go to every closing.
What are you talking about?
So, I guess being newer in the industry, right? I'm always trying
to go to the closing.
Yeah. I don't go to every closing. Okay. So if it's a refinance, I'm not going. If it's someone that has This is like the third time they're going around the process of buying a home. I'm not going. But I make it a point for all of my first-time home buyers to go.
Okay, that's nice of you. That's very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Now,
And
do you try to get more business from the listing agent?
no. I mean, yes and no. I think that one, it's important for me to show up there because I think it's important for everyone that's been a part of this transaction, whether it's a paralegal, the title company, the notary, the attorney, the realtors, like we all worked collectively for this transaction to take place at the closing
You're gonna
table.
start crying, aren't you? You're getting emotional.
So
You're gonna start crying. Don't do it,
so
Madness.
I
Don't
won't, I
do
won't
it.
cry. I won't cry on the podcast. No crying in podcasting. But
Yes.
it's just nice to see the fruit of your labor come together. And it's
So
nice to put names and faces together.
I
And
get
people,
that. It's just I don't know. Well, I know people have been
tell me
going
your
to
opinion.
have been going to closings since I've been in the business, which was like Fred Flintstone time, right?
Yep.
And so they've been going to closings for a long time. I was probably so I'll tell you the story. There was it was a very tough. It was probably my first subprime loan I did in 1994. They
Mhm.
didn't even call them subprime loans then. I don't know what the hell they called them, right? And there was an 85-year-old husband and wife that I did a loan for, and the closing was absolutely berserk, where there was arguments about the fees, and I guess the wife was going senile or something, and she actually yelled, "Everybody, shut up!" And we all looked at her.
At the closing.
I'm not making this up. And she says, "I don't care what the fees are. You're not taking my organ."
You're absolutely right about that.
And I
This is
guess
what we're gathering for.
I'm guessing the husband had threatened to sell her organ if they couldn't get the refinance done for that I was working on them.
Like, ma'am, if we don't get this money through the cash out refinance, we're gonna have to go.
No, like the husband probably threatened her, you know what I mean? Like, I should just sell your organ and so we can get the mortgage paid. So I don't know. But after that, I stopped going to closings. I was like, I don't want to be around my clients when they close.
So this is what I do. I don't go for the full closing. Like I'm not sitting there, like start to finish. I show up at the last 15 minutes, right? We're
Oh,
getting through the end of the closing table. We're getting ready to
wow.
be done. Everyone's ready to take pictures. Everyone's ready to pop a bottle, just celebrate, talk after the closing. So that's when I come in. I don't think I need to
Oh,
be there from start to finish.
I see a new nickname in here for you.
Oh God, what?
I think the new nickname could be Papa Bottle.
Pop a bottle. Pop Madness.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a pretty cool name, Papa Bottle.
pop a bottle. I
I'm
like
Pop
it.
I'm Papa Bottle. Let's go take a
I
picture.
do want a closing sign though. Like the realtors have like the little keys or whatever. I'm
So
like,
do other guys in your group, do they go to their closings?
some of them. And
So
again,
that's where you learned it from.
that is where I learned it from.
Yeah.
And I think that, like I said, above all else, it just shows that client that like, hey, I told you I was going to be here for you. I told you I was going to get you to the finish line. Here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's paid off for me. And I've had, the realtors like, wait, you're coming to closing? And I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, is that an issue?
So is there a distance limit? Like if the closing's 100 miles away, would you go?
No. So no, because I've got people in all different places. So like last week when I had a closing down in South Jersey, which is about an hour and a half from my house, I stayed with my parents at their shore house. They were just down there for the weekend anyway. The closing was happening on a Monday, so I stayed over till Monday, worked from down the shore,
Okay.
went to the closing, and then drove home. I mean, if it didn't work or, I had other obligations that day, I wouldn't say that me going to a closing is my first priority, but I think that if I have the ability to make it to the closing, maybe, I don't make it to the closing, but I set up, coffee or something with that client, with that agent post close for a celebration, it works the same way. But I do like to show my face.
Do you bring closing gifts?
Yes,
All right. It's
I
got your
do.
little card on it.
Yes, handwritten
Alright.
cards all day, every day.
You give it to the listing agent?
I do. And I give it to the attorneys and I give it to the
There you
title
go.
company and
See?
I give it to everyone.
So in about 20 years, the fruits of your labor will pay off.
Yes, it's gonna take a while, but I do think that those little small touches will end up being a big player, hopefully.
No, listen, I think those are great things, by the way. As a manager, I mean, I can assure you that I think I would encourage that. You know what I mean? Especially in this day and age when it is so competitive.
Yeah,
Because look, I mean, we're transitioning into this brand new market right now, right? Where it's more customer service, it's more of relationships, it's more hand holding,
yeah,
right? Because the rates are higher. There's less I mean, there's more inventory, so buyers can actually take their time finding the right house, and you're gonna have to be more of a counselor to them at a time.
yeah,
I
and I
mean,
think,
your buddy Darcy with her therapy session, that was dead on.
no, it is, and, like, what I would say is that a lot of these new mortgage companies or even existing mortgage companies that think that the way to get ahead or get, behind the new curves and trends is technology.
Mhm.
And I so disagree. I think
Really?
technology is the connector to building relationships.
Wow, how
So
Madison, I normally don't ask you, how old are you?
26.
And you believe, like, technology is not as powerful as everyone else is making out to be?
No. I think
Wow.
it's a way for people to hide. I think it's a way for people to act like they're reinventing the wheel. I think it's a way for people to get distracted, to get misled.
Hmm.
I think that with technology, yes, there's great uses of technology. There's always a need for, right now, Annie Mac has a mobile app. So you can literally download the app, take an application, scan your documents from your cell phone, like things like
Right.
that. I think that is innovative, is great. But I think if you are only running your business knowing that your company has the best technology or you're using the best CRM systems, like I get embarrassed sometimes when people call me because my marketing team sent out an email
Yeah.
pretending to be me and they're like, "Oh, I saw your email." Yes, and I'm like, remind me again what I said in that email. Or we have these voicemail, it's called Sly Broadcast, where
Yeah.
you have these preset recordings of you and it'll send a voicemail directly to their phone. So it like
Yeah.
rings once, it doesn't give them enough time to
Yeah,
answer the
ringless
phone,
voicemails. Yeah.
and it just goes to their voicemail. So they'll be like, "Oh, I got your voicemail. What's up? Like, what's so important?" And I'm like, huh, I don't know.
So
And then
hold
I'm
on,
like looking at the cheat sheets,
but
like
shouldn't
which
your
one
marketing
was
department be telling you that they're doing this
voicemail?
before they do it? Or you're not reading their emails?
I might have to reach out to my marketing department. Like there might be a way for me to be able to approve these things before they go out, but
Yeah, I
everything
mean,
is
'cause
done.
normally you wanna coordinate with the sales team when you're making that kind of effort, because you don't want your sales guys to get caught off guard.
No.
Unless they wanna trip you up and throw you off balance, and they enjoy that look.
Yeah, and I mean, like, like, every once in a while, I'm just like, okay, like, or I'll tell my
Is the
clients, like,
marketing team based in New Jersey also? Because there might be the mean streak in them. I don't know.
no, our marketing team's kind of all, I mean, Annie Mac is based out of South Jersey. So
Okay,
there is definitely like a team of people in Jersey, but there's also, I think, like corporate level is across the country.
got it.
But yeah, no, just coming back to this whole like technology thing, I think that social media, yes, it's great. You're able to advertise, promote yourself, build a brand for yourself. But at the same time, if all that you're doing is building a brand behind a screen and you're
Mhm.
not bringing that to the next level and meeting up with people in person, going to closings, attending events, hosting seminars, like, I don't know. I just think
That's so
technology,
interesting to hear this from a loan officer that in your age bracket has been in the business this long,
yeah,
because I think most of us, not most of us, I think overall people have this misunderstanding now, at least overall, right?
yeah.
This belief that the younger people don't want to have contact with people. Like you would rather text somebody than actually pick up the phone and call them.
Which,
I'll give you a good example. Like, hey, are we recording at 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. today? Versus just calling me.
yeah. And I'm so like call me. Or people will be like, oh, like I reached out to you and like I haven't heard back. And I'm like, but did you text me or
So
did
you
you
do like
actually
text.
call?
You do like text because that's technology.
No, I don't like text.
You don't like text.
No, I like phone call, FaceTime, email.
Okay.
Think about it, Fob. It's like in mortgage, right? Like you're on your phone all day. You wake up, you're checking your emails. Someone's calling you, someone's texting me. You're on your application, you're putting an application together. You're
Okay.
scrolling on social media all day. If that is my business operations,
Mhm.
that's exhausting. Like just being behind a screen all day, right?
Well, I mean, but we are behind a screen all day.
We are, but we aren't. Here's my thing:
Okay.
is I realized, and maybe this was like a result of COVID, but COVID, I had no work-life balance. Everything was done at home in my little basement, you know, like everything. And people are still not going back to the office. People are still working remotely 100%
Mhm.
of the time.
Mhm.
So it's not that I think that the phone and like all this technology isn't needed for my business, but if I have the opportunity to break up the day by going and connecting with an attorney or a real estate agent or a financial advisor, or if a client is able, you know, they live close by, hey, like, you know, let's sit together in person or you can come into my office after work, like why wouldn't I want to build relationships like that in addition to what technology allows? Technology gives you the reach. You're able to get your message, you're able to interact with a lot more people at one time. But God, like if you can't build relationships organically,
Okay.
most of my business comes from organic leads. I don't pay for leads. I'm not paying a realtor's marketing fee
Mhm.
for them to send me deals. I don't have any paid relationships within my sphere of influence within my networking,
Mhm.
um, which I think for me is great because then if I'm able to be this successful, maybe right now in my first year of business, because of the organic start and foundation that I built for myself. Then when I do start to trickle more into maybe paying for leads or paying someone to do my marketing for me so that I'm not always the one that's posting everything for myself or
Right.
whatever
Right.
the case may be, it will be an extension of my business, but I haven't built my entire business
I
around
mean,
it.
I'm just still kind of floored that you don't like technology. So I'm still trying to like digest that, but that's I mean, because I love technology, right? I like because I guess maybe I was around when there was no technology. So it wasn't like you had an option, right?
But don't you feel like it's lost its authenticity? Like I feel like I
I
am
like what you're
so
saying,
over.
and I think there's definitely look, there's merit in what you're saying, right? So there's boom, boom, right there. And I love the fact of melding the two thoughts together because I think maybe that's where it evolves into. I think you're onto something. I think that the organic, along with a proper use of technology, is that maybe that's the right way to say it. Where look, I mean, I would get a I'll never forget this. I was out with my family some sunny spring day, and my beeper goes off. There's no cell phone. I got to go find it's my real estate agent. I call him up from some payphone. He says, "Can you pull a credit report today? I got to go show this guy a house." I'm in DC. I put the family in the minivan, go drop them off at our house, drive to the office to pull a credit report, only to find out the guy's got nothing but collections.
Yeah.
An entire Sunday was ruined.
Hmm.
And with technology, you can do it all on your cell phone.
Now let me tell you this. My Sunday is my Sunday. And I want to decompress. I want to get off. I want to digitally detox myself.
Right, right.
And because everyone has access to me through all of these platforms, how do you shut down? How do you
You just
stop?
ask for you just put on your voicemail, look, on Sundays I don't respond to messages unless it's urgent.
And but it's like
Have you
it's
ever had one of those courses where they talk about the times that you can respond to people's voicemails and you put that on your greeting? I used to have this one loan officer who would not respond to people's voice messages till after 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. After 4 p.m., expect a phone call from him.
Yeah, and I have like heard, like the psychology with even like your voicemail, what is it? Like not the machine, the preset, like my voicemail recording, right?
Mhm.
So with the voicemail recording, like if you're not the type of person that's going to answer someone back immediately, don't say in your voicemail, "Oh, leave a message and I'll call you right back."
Yeah,
That's not who
exactly.
you are.
Yeah.
If you're the type of person that prefers text over phone call, in that voicemail recording, you should be saying, "Hey, please leave a voicemail and text me,"
Mhm.
giving specific instructions that sets you up to answer accordingly.
And that's how
Or
you detox from
yeah,
on the days that you don't wanna pick up the phone. Because there's plenty of time that I even, like, my sometimes managers are calling me, whatever, calling me, right? Somebody wants to complain, and I will have my phone turned off
yeah.
because whatever I'm doing, like, I cannot be bothered.
Well, I have those presets. So like when someone calls me and you can hit one of like the text presets, like sorry, I'm
Yeah.
driving, sorry, I'm on the other line, whatever. So I do have those set. I do have my automatic away
But it
email.
sounds like is you need a technology detox weekend.
Sounds like I need an assistant for technology. And maybe
No,
that's
I think you need a detox. I think there's a technology detox weekend camp even, where it's like everything's turned off, you don't bring your cell phone there, you don't turn the TV on, you don't turn the computers on,
that
and you
sounds
just
like heaven to
right,
me.
but you can create that. You don't need to pay some schmuck $2,800 for it.
No, 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 no. I know. And, like I think that that's again where being in person, connecting with people in person allows me that time. I will never sit with a realtor or an attorney or a client and answer my phone in that
Good.
hour that I'm with them.
Yeah.
And I
That's
feel like it
awesome.
not only resonates and translates to who I am as a person, like if you're
Yeah.
with me, like I'm giving you the time, I'm giving you the space. No one else matters, no one else is important. So maybe that's, like subconsciously why I do like being in person because it gives me those breaks or it just breaks up my day for me where I feel like, okay, I didn't just sit and stare at a computer all day. Because
Yeah.
sometimes that feels mindless for me. Does that make sense? When
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
scrolling and emailing and talking and texting and who's messaging me on Microsoft Teams and then I got a Facebook DM and a like holy moly, like it's
Yeah.
great, but it's overwhelming at times
Yeah,
and it's not it doesn't set me up to be my most authentic self.
you have to detox from everything, and you have to just say, "Look, this is I can't do this." I mean, I was trying to recruit this one guy, and on his voice message, he was like, "Look, if it's after 7 p.m., I'm probably with my family, so please respect that time, and I'll call you back tomorrow morning."
Yeah,
It's like, okay. I
yeah.
think that's the kind of message we need to
Like
leave
you
so that
set the tone or you have to have boundaries with your
right.
client, with your referral, team. And again, that's where I think technology is great. It allows you to, set up those presets or
Mhm.
okay, right now, like if I have a realtor that needs me to run numbers or needs me to update a pre-approval, like Annie Mac is working on something right now where that realtor can go in and so long as the purchase
The
price is
max number,
within what
the
they're
max
qualified
loan
for,
amount
I
doesn't
no
get adjusted.
longer have to be the person updating it
Right,
constantly.
right.
Or I tell my clients, hey, calculate everything on the mortgage app. I'll go run mortgage insurance through an actual mortgage insurance company because, like, that estimate that they give you on that mortgage calculator is BS. But everything else, numbers wise, like, yeah, 5% of this purchase price, this tax amount divided out by 12 months. Like, there's certain things where it's
I
just,
wonder how much of this has to do with you really catering to first-time home buyers versus when you move up into second or third-time home buyers, if some of the stress will take its own place, you know what I mean? Because they're already kinda experienced in the buying process.
yeah. And I think one thing that was stressing me out for a while that I've kind of nipped in the butt or been trying to nip in the butt lately is my realtor relationships.
Mhm.
Because at first, when I first got into this, it's like, all right, let's talk to everyone that wants to use me. Like, let's do it. And then
Yeah.
you start to learn the styles and the behaviors and the way that people talk to people. And, you know, like there's realtors that I love them and they give me business. I could never refer a client back to them because I
Wow.
would be mortified with how I know that they talk or treat people,
Eesh.
and knowing this person's financials, you know, it's like, it's very weird. So one thing that I've been trying to do is fine tune my relationships or resetting expectations and boundaries with realtors, but also not only just relying or depending on real estate agents for my business, which is something that I think I felt short. Like I felt like, okay, the only way to get my purchase volume up is to go after realtors.
Uh-huh.
And it's not the case. If
Yeah.
anything, the realtors were giving me, they were deterring me further from hitting my purchase goals because yes, they had the clients that they were referring me to, but they don't have an understanding of that client's financial background before sending them to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you something, because we're at 26 minutes now.
Yep,
You feel better?
I do. Got everything out for the last. I feel like I went to therapy. I should be paying you something. Royalty.
All right. As long as you feel better, then we can end the show now. I didn't want to stop you there for about a minute to go. You were on such a roll, you know. I was like, okay, let her go, because obviously you needed to let that out. But
I did.
you gotta let it go, man. It's not, you know, there's more than enough business. No matter how high the rates go, no matter what happens, there's gonna be always business that's gonna be guaranteed for you, no matter what our brain tells us. And it's all works out at the end anyway. And
Amen.
when you stress out in the middle, what's the point? What's the point? So,
No.
all right, Madison, I want you to say bye to everybody.
Fobby, audience, goodbye. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for letting me rant.
We're out.